Welcome to NightCap Live. I'm Dan Dunn. I missed you. It's been a few weeks. We took a little break so I could travel and do all the things I had planned this summer. Just kidding. I didn't do anything. Sat in my goddamn house. Tonight on the show, very excited. We're going to be drinking rum with our returning champion, America's foremost authority on hamburgers, George Motz, is back. I love when George is on the show because I love burgers, and nobody knows more about burgers than George Motz. Also joining us on the show, Mount Gay Rum Ambassador Dario Prescott will be on. We're going to be drinking a bunch of Mount Gay Rum. We're going to be getting into it, talking about it in depth, in detail, how they make it, how to drink it, what you're supposed to smell and taste, and all the great things about the drinking experience. We're going to get to that. Again, I'm very excited to be back. I hope you are as well. As always, I invite you out there to check out my podcast, What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn. It's available everywhere podcasts stream. The current episode, we're diving into The Onion, America's #1 news source, is also a great booze source. So we talk about some of the drinking stories on The Onion, What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn. Please check it out. You've got a chat box there on the page to this way. Get in there with comments, questions, whatever, fire away, try to get to it by the end of the show. As always on the show, we have a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a Flaviar membership. Flaviar, of course, is a club that brings together fine spirits enthusiasts from the world over. Okay, every quarter, Flaviar sends you samples, provides access to exclusive, highly allocated bottles. These aren't bottles you can just get anywhere. And then they're always working to keep you educated, entertained, booze-themed content like this. Really is an amazing way to discover new flavors and bond with your friends and family over. Really is a miracle, that booze. Okay, so how you win the Flaviar membership tonight? This is how we're going to do it. George Motz is a burger expert, the burger expert in these United States. So I've tailored this week's contest to George, to his area of expertise. Right now, I'm going to lay out 5 scenes, classic movie scenes that have to do with burgers. In no particular order, I'm going to throw these scenes out. What I want you to do is this. Of the 5, pick 3 in order. The best, the second best, the third best. Just 3 that you think, me and George think are the best 3 scenes ever to have to do with burgers. If you get it right, you're in the running for a Flaviar membership. Okay, so here we go. In no particular order right now, here are the scenes. The Royale with cheese scene from Pulp Fiction. Classic. Royale with cheese. Classic scene. Lloyd and Harry inadvertently kill a mobster by loading his burger with chili peppers in Dumb and Dumber. Okay? Anthropomorphic burger. Burger comes to life and rocks out to Van Halen's Everybody Wants Some with John Cusack watching in Better Off Dead. Okay? Another scene from Pulp Fiction, the Big Kahuna Burger. We all know it. That is a tasty burger. Pulp Fiction, Big Kahuna Burger. And finally, Harold and Kumar make it to White Castle after a crazy adventure. They make it, and they order 30 sliders each, and Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. So there's your 5 scenes, okay? And what I want, you don't have to write all that out. Just put, if you're going to put Royale with cheese, Harold and Kumar. So I want the top 3 in order, 1, 2, 3. You get it the way that I like it, and George likes it, you're in the running for the Flaviar membership. So good luck. Wish you the best. This Sunday, August 16th, is National Rum Day. Now, National Rum Day's roots can be traced back a few years ago when someone who was clearly being paid too much by a liquor industry consortium took it upon themselves to invent it. Right. To make it official, they took another probably less well-compensated person to create a just this side of parody website. Check it out. It's called rumday.com. Okay. Now, to be prepared, I'm going to be fair there. It's more professional looking than the sites for National Taco Day, which is October 4th. We all know that. National Chicken Wing Day, July 29th. And National Grab Some Nuts Day. Swear to God, that's real. National Grab Some Nuts Day, August 3rd. Note, do not confuse that last one with National Scratch Your Nuts Day, which is, let me check my calendar. Oh, it's today and tomorrow. I celebrated yesterday too. What can I say? I'm full of the scratch your nuts spirit. I just am. So after several hours of research, I've come to the conclusion that nobody really knows who's responsible for establishing National Rum Day. But as a longtime connoisseur of weird and unnecessary things, I'll gladly raise a toast to the trailblazing son of a bitch that started National Rum Day, as well as the sad, sad employee that had to build its website. You know what? Let's give the taco guy some love too. National Taco Day guy too. I'm going to have both of you over when National Bullshit Holiday Day rolls around, which is traditionally celebrated the 7th Tuesday of Craptember, just so you know. Now, some of you might be wondering, why have a National Rum Day in the first place? Or what's the significance of August 16th? Or does the fact that I'm thinking about going out to celebrate a fake holiday during a pandemic mean that I have a problem? I'll stop with all your wondering. It's only going to get in the way of the fun. Sure, it's ridiculous to have a national holiday to celebrate a distilled spirit, especially one that wasn't even invented here. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. Venturing out during a pandemic to drink rum all day does not mean you've got a problem. It just means you love freedom. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is my producer in my ear. He's telling me to stress the fact that Flaviar does not support anyone putting themselves at risk to celebrate any boozy holiday. All right, fine. You can drink your rum at home this Sunday. The point is, there's absolutely no point to National Rum Day other than it being another excuse to drink, like Cinco de Mayo, Arbor Day, Yom Kippur. And when an excuse to drink presents itself, you run with it. In fact, I propose we add a National People Running with Drinks in Their Hands Day to the calendar. But enough with justifications. The real question you should be asking is, what type of rum should you celebrate National Rum Day with? And the answer, my friends, right here, Mount Gay. This one, this one, and we got this one. And hold on. We got this one, box, there. See it? That's it. That's what I'm doing Sunday. There's my day. All right. And in a few minutes, we're going to have Dario, brand ambassador from Mount Gay, to tell us all about these rums. But first, our first guest is the author of Hamburger America and the Great American Hamburger Book, and is the resident burger scholar. On the Burger Show on Complex Media's First We Feast, he's been on the show before. We're so glad to have him back. Mr. George Motz. George.
Hello. Good to see you.
How are you, man?
Cheers. I made myself a drink, by the way.
Look at you.
Mount Gay and Coke, also known as a rum and Coke, right? Or Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre. You could do that, yeah. How are you, man? Everything good? It looks like you're cooking back there. What do you got going on?
I'm actually right now smoking some burgers right now. Currently smoking. Now, you can probably imagine smoking takes a little while. It takes, you cook a burger, you can cook it in a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Minute here, minute there. Put it together in a bun and you're done. This, though, is a smoker. Well, it's a Weber, but I'm smoking in the Weber for 50 minutes.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit longer. I mean, you smoke Texas, like Texas, when they smoke beef and all that kind of stuff, it takes 12 to 16 hours. I was only taking it under an hour for the burger.
So at the end of the show, you're going to be able to eat that burger.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we started this burger about right when you started talking. I put these burgers on.
So like an hour ago. Yeah.
Like an hour, yeah.
Yeah. It just feels that way. So, George, let me show you what I got here in honor of you being here. Look at this thing. Oh boy. This is the Willy Brown Burger. from our friends at Baby Blues Barbecue right here in Venice, California. Baby
Sure.
Blues, fine establishment. I've been told that this is made of Angus beef. It's got some American cheese, some sweet barbecue sauce, thick cut bacon, and onion rings.
The barbecue sauce is actually interesting because that's what I'm putting on this burger. I wouldn't normally put a sweet sauce on a burger, but this burger, because of the smoke, like the dense smoke flavor, the beefy content is savory and salty. And I always put barbecue sauce on this burger and a piece of raw onion and some pickle. So it tastes like you're at a barbecue. It tastes like you're at a barbecue joint eating beef barbecue. What did you
This is delicious. Yeah.
What did you just think that was green? What was that? Fry?
It's a pickle.
A pickle.
Yeah. You said pickle, and I
said pickle. You mean pickle?
Grab the pickle. This is so good. I just wanted to, be part of the team here tonight.
It's a good idea. Again,
I'm going to return to this burger in a little bit.
This is going to be about 2 minutes. No, I think, what are we now? And let's see, we're about 35 minutes away from being done for this burger.
Mine will probably be done before that, though. Okay. So, George, you did I was watching some of your videos. They're fantastic on YouTube. And you did a Burger Scholar session on the Mississippi Slug Burger.
That's right.
Now, what I found interesting was you were talking about how they put breadcrumbs in there with the beef. Okay. Now, I grew up poor in Philadelphia, and my mom always did that, right? So I just figured that was a flavor thing. That was part of the recipe. I had no idea that my mom was doing that to stretch her ground beef dollar. That's what it's about, right?
Unquestionably. Well, you grew up in the land of scrapple, right?
Scrapple, man. And Taylor pork roll and all that good stuff.
I mean, scrapple has additives like, I think it has oats and other types of like grains that actually make it basically extend your meat supply. Scrapple's fantastic.
So that came about then. That was a necessity thing for the back in the day. Like they had the meat, and they're like, we got to make this meat. We got to get this meat to last all week. So let's add some bread to it.
Well, the idea was you took yesterday's bread, which was now stale today. You crushed it up and you put it into your beef supply, and then it would extend your beef. And you kept doing that every day. You take yesterday's bread and put it into today's ground beef. And they realized some weird magic happened there. They realized that if they cooked it on the flat top and the fat would render from the beef, it would actually go into the breadcrumbs, soak into the breadcrumbs, and of course crisp the breadcrumbs with nothing more than glorious beef grease. And that is incredible flavor. It really is. So in a way, they created this sort of scientific magic.
Keep talking.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
What's even cooler, by the way, is that the burger, it's really hard to find this burger in the South anymore. It's specifically from the geographic northern part of Mississippi. And that's pretty much the only place you're going to find it. You're not going to find it in southern Tennessee or even parts of southern Mississippi, but it really exists only in northeastern Mississippi, like in that corner. And even today, if you go into a restaurant and you ask for a slug burger, they're not going to give you a beef burger with breadcrumbs. They're going to give you what is the newer slug burger, newer as of the last 40 or 50 years, which is ground pork and some kind of like soy flour instead of breadcrumbs.
Gotcha.
Very strange.
One of the things you do too, George, when you're making the burgers in your video, I notice you sort of put it in a ball, and then you throw it on the flat top grill there, and then you press it down, right? I've watched you do this numerous, and you don't seem overly concerned with achieving perfect roundness with this. Almost always your burgers are of an uneven shape, and I have to tell you, that bothers me, and I'm wondering, does it mean I'm not drinking enough? I'm drinking too much? Why am I getting hung up on the fact that this burger is not even?
I don't know. That's your problem. But I will tell you, though, that the smashed burger, which you're talking about, is the original American hamburger. So before there was patty formers or anybody was able to, even obviously before there were even like flat top griddles, people would actually take small balls of scooped meat that form like meatballs, basically with nothing in it except for beef. And they would put it on a flat top and they would smash it with the back of the spatula. And they would smash it so it would go out to the size of the bun they were using. And back in those days, we're talking 100 years ago, they were using dinner rolls. So honestly, if you had whatever the dinner roll size was, that was the size they would smash the burger to. And of course, smashing a burger made it cook faster as well. So you end up with these craggy, I think I made a word up there, craggy edges that create this beef crust. The crust is so incredible on the edge of those craggy edges that I almost consider it to be like a beef candy, if you will.
Okay.
Beef candy. It's so good, so good.
So that you're saying that was 100 years ago was around when burgers started in America.
We're up to like 130 years now since the burger was invented. We believe somewhere in the Midwest by 7 different people who claim to have invented the burger.
And when did people start putting cheese on burgers?
It's a great question. Part of it, joking on my Cuba Libre. It was in 1924, 1925 at a place called The Right Spot in Pasadena, California. To be specific, that's where it started. And apparently the cook apparently had burned one side of the patty, and he flipped it over and he went, "Oh shit!" And he ended up putting a piece of cheese onto the burger to cover up the burn part.
By the way, the beauty of doing this live is there's a giant bee in my house because I left the door open and I'm allergic to bees. Help! I like watching this thing going. So if I look scared while there's a bee in there, I'm gonna kill the bee. Someone's gonna kill the bee. There we go. That would be a disaster. Okay. Another one real quick before we bring on Dario, George. I was watching another video of yours where there was a historic roast beef place in Brooklyn called Brennan and Char, and they have a burger called the Gargiulo, which is, let me check, roast beef, sauteed onion, American cheese, and then they dip it in beef broth. Yes. Are you kidding me?
Kidding. Not kidding. It's a brilliant burger. It's a dipped burger. I mean, they have roast beef sandwiches. They make their own roast beef. They actually roast their own beef, and they slice it thin, and they serve an incredible roast beef sandwich. When you get the roast beef sandwich, you can ask for a dipped or even double dip, which is where they finish the sandwich, take the whole thing, and they dip it into this big bath of au jus that they make. They also make their own beef broth. It's really good, concentrated, like salty, like beefy broth. They dip it in there once, twice, and do it twice. If you get the Gargiulo burger, it's basically a roast beef sandwich with sauteed onions and a hamburger patty on it, and that whole thing goes in twice into the bath.
Oh my God, it looks so amazing. I hope that place is still open during all this. You're able to go there and get burgers. Yeah,
they've been open. I mean, you can't go inside anymore like every other restaurant in New York City, but you can still. They were built for it. They had an indoor dining room set up, but they also had a to-go window. So they were ready. They were ready for this.
They were ready. So are we ready? Are we ready to get into some rum here? Really dive in while we wait for your burger to be done. I'm going to bring him on. He's a brand ambassador for Mount Gay Rum. Dario Prescott. Dario, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, man? Nice to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Where are you coming from now? Where are you at?
I am currently in Brooklyn, New York, via route of Barbados, man. Moved there in 2018, and I'm getting the true New Yorker experience. I mean, pandemics, you name it, man. I'm getting it all in one.
Well, so Barbados is where Mount Gay is from.
That is correct, man. Not only is it where Mount Gay is from, Barbados is actually the birthplace of rum. So the entire story of rum started on that tiny island, which is like 166 square miles, which is like 21 miles high and 14 miles wide. And it all started because of sugar cane. So everyone was trying to get the sugar. Tea was a big thing. People needed sugar to sweeten their tea. And in the process of extracting that sugar, there was an unwanted byproduct, this thick, syrupy substance that was dumped into the ocean by the barrel full because no one could find any use for it whatsoever. Molasses. So when they realized that the fermentation of the molasses could be distilled into rum, it offset the cost of running the refinery, and essentially it doubled the profits. Molasses became known as black gold, and the rest is history, my friend.
Didn't rum used to be called Kill Devil back in the day?
That is correct, because that was in reference to the I guess the sharp burn that you got when you drank it. And that's definitely understandable because the whole ideology of putting rums inside of the barrel wasn't something that was done from the beginning. That came about when the rum had to be shipped from Barbados to different parts of the world. And they realized that the rum tasted better on arrival compared to when it first left the port of origin. So from there on out, people started to let the rum sit inside of the barrel because it picked up some of the flavor of the barrel, and it also became a lot more refined and a bit easier to drink as well.
By the way, Dario, what kind of burger are you eating tonight?
I had a burger earlier. I'm sorry, guys. I was hungry. Yeah, I had a pretty long day. I told myself I wanted to wait on you guys, but I usually go for a nice cheeseburger, medium rare. That's where I like to play. That's it for me with some nice cheese. I like the idea of a nice sweet barbecue sauce. I think that definitely adds the fantastic touch that you need when it comes to burgers.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I've already started in with the Eclipse, which we're going to talk about in a second. I really find that this Eclipse is complementing this burger I'm having right here. Maybe it's the sweetness of the barbecue sauce interacting with the rum, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely be true, but I think that the best way to really enjoy the Eclipse is usually inside of a cocktail. So while you've been having it straight, I've been having it in a pineapple daiquiri. So having a pineapple daiquiri with the burger that you're having right now, if you think the Eclipse is enjoyable now, imagine if you had this. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there to possibly make one for you, but it is actually pretty nice. But usually when it comes to the Eclipse rum, I would definitely say to have it inside of cocktails. We consider it to be the perfect mixable rum. And that's a point that I really love to highlight to people, that when it comes to rums, all rums are not the same. Some rums are for mixing and some rums are for sipping as well. But this is a rum that I would definitely recommend for mixing. So if you wanted to do like a nice punch, a nice rum punch, that's definitely the way that you would go. And a rum punch is super easy to make. Rum, lime juice, simple syrup, nutmeg, bitters, you're pretty much good to go. So if you get your nose inside of there, what you're going to find is that you get the perfect balance of the 4 signature aromas of Mount Gay Rum. You got your vanilla, you got your sweet almond, you got your dark chocolate, and a little bit of ripe banana. So that's why we call it the perfect balance, right? You'll notice the color of it is also an indication that it hasn't been sitting in the barrel for too long. Usually the longer the rum sits inside of the barrel, darker it's going to be. So here you're going to see it's pretty light. And also if you do have a taste of it.
How much time in barrel for this one, Dario?
Just 2 years.
2 years.
That's it.
Smooth.
It's very smooth, and it's also very light on your palate. What you're going to notice, in a couple of seconds, you're going to find that the taste of it doesn't linger on your palate. It dissipates pretty quickly. So I like to describe it as having a very short finish, all right? Which is why it's fantastic to use instead of cocktails. Any light cocktail, if you wanted to have it with a bit of ginger beer or anything like that, soda water, squeeze a lime, that is definitely the direction that you're going with the Eclipse rum. But as you move up,
I'm getting a lot of fruitiness. I'm getting some banana on here. Right?
Definitely.
And then on the back end, I'm getting some spice. What about you, George?
It's buttery. It's really buttery. It's smooth. Ooh.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect representation of Mount Gay Rum on a whole. I would describe it as a dry style rum. No, we're not adding any sugar to it or anything like that. All of the flavor you're getting is just coming from blending the rums. So even though this is one of the lower marks in our portfolio, even trying it on its own, you will find yourself being very pleasantly surprised as to how smooth the liquid is.
Yeah, I don't know why I put a Coke in it. That was silly.
Oh no, that's not silly. That's great. I mean, listen, I'm from Barbados, and in the islands we keep it simple, man. Simple is sometimes the best way to go. Having a bit of nice Mount Gay Eclipse rum, some Coke, a nice squeeze of lime. You can't ever go around there, ever.
That's
George,
good.
I'm going to tell you something really interesting, George. Mount Gay's, the distillery's been around since 1703. The guy who inherited the distillery, his name was John Sober.
That's right.
John Sober.
Really?
Oh, John Sober started making some stuff that didn't make you John Sober anymore. Yeah.
That was crazy, man. And you know what? The thing about it is that he hired his friend and colleague Sir John Gay to streamline the business and the craft of refining the rum. So he did such a great job of taking care of the plantation and the runnings and the ins and outs that when he died in 1801, the family decided to honor him. And they did this by naming the plantation after him. And that is how we got our name, Mount Gay Rum. What's even funnier is how we got Mount, because anything over 50 feet in Barbados was considered to be a mountain. Yes, but really and truly, Barbados is actually a very, very flat island. And it happens so because it's made from coral. Most of the other Caribbean islands are actually formed based on volcanic activity. But this island in particular, being made from coral, it's very porous. So all of the water literally filters through the rock and settles in underground caves. So that also helps us in giving us some fantastic water for producing our rum. So we're still drawing water from the same well from 1703 up until 2020, man. Amazing.
So Dario, you talked about the Eclipse going really well in a cocktail, but I also found, and I tried some earlier too, I put a little ice on there. That water really opens it up a bit too, I think.
Oh, definitely. And if you were to try that with the Mount Gay Black Barrel, even the XO, you would find the same reaction taking place and find it becoming even more palatable, right? But I think that Eclipse is pretty much just the top, just the tip of the iceberg, as they would say, as we get into some of the other stuff that we have there. But that's definitely a way that you could enjoy some of the older marks. You could say the Black Barrel for sure is definitely one I would recommend having just over ice. Yeah.
Okay. I want to remind everybody the contest tonight. We want you to win that Flaviar membership. What we're doing because of burgers, I've given you 5 scenes, famous scenes involving burgers. I'll very quickly go through those again. The Royale with cheese from Pulp Fiction, anthropomorphic burger coming to life and rocking out to Van Halen in Better Off Dead. Lloyd and Harry inadvertently killing a mobster with a spicy burger in Dumb and Dumber. The big Kahuna burger scene from Pulp Fiction, and Harold and Kumar finally making it to White Castle and ordering 30 sliders each. Of those 5 scenes, take 3 of them and rank them 1, 2, 3. Send them in the comments. You get them right, you're in the running to win the membership. George and I came up with it because George is the burger expert. We came up with the list earlier, and somebody's going to walk away with a Flaviar membership tonight. I have a question for you, George. Jim Carring says, George, which region has the best burgers? I'm going Venice, California right now with this Baby Blues burger.
Wait, you asked me a question. I'm sorry. Say it again. I was checking.
Take your time. You go back. We don't need to. Go.
I was checking. Sorry.
Which region has the best burgers?
Which region? Oh, I can't play favorites. It's impossible. There's too many varieties. I mean, there must be. I think I lost count. Somewhere around 100 different methods and varieties around America. You know, people think of the hamburgers being one thing. It's beef, bun, cheese, and whatever else on there. But there actually is. There's a lot of diversity out there in hamburgers and a lot of pride, a lot of real like local pride. Like you go to, for example, I don't know if you ever are, but if you're ever in Ottumwa, Iowa, it is the home of
I go there every week.
Yeah.
I'm dating someone there. Yeah.
Hey, are you really?
But you know what? At this point in quarantine, I would drive to Iowa. I really would. If anybody in Ottumwa is interested in me, if you're out there, I'll get in the goddamn car right now and I'll drive to Iowa.
It's a great town.
That's how alone I am. I'm so alone. No, kidding.
Alone. I'm so alone.
I'll come to you, Iowa. I will.
But at Ottumwa, Iowa, there's a place called, what's it called? It's called the Canteen Lunch. And they have something on the menu. What they have is called the Tavern or the Made Right Sandwich. It's a loose meat sandwich. It's basically just chopped meat, steamed somehow, and put on a bun. It's a variation of the hamburger, but you go anywhere in America, and you're going to find if you dig deep, you're going to find some kind of regional diversity and some crazy hamburger methods out there. It's a lot of fun. And I still haven't found them all.
Dario, what's the hamburger scene like in Barbados?
Oh, definitely. If you're in Barbados, you got to get yourself a Gap burger. That's like a thing. If you're out partying late at night and you're looking for something to hold you over, head to the Gap, get yourself a burger from one of these street vendors, and you're pretty much good to go. They're gonna put that burger. They're gonna give you some coleslaw, some of everything that you really want on it, and it's just amazing. 2 of them. You need to buy 2.
2
Gap burgers get you over the threshold, not 1. Always has to be 2. What about balance?
Wow, so it's called the area is called the Gap. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the Gap is where it's at. That's what they say, man. But if you ask any Barbadian, any Bajan, that's what we're affectionately known as. Yes, I'm a Barbadian, but I'm a Bajan. That's what they say. So if you were to ask any Bajan about a Gap burger, oh, for sure, they'll tell you that they have had a few. Definitely.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Also, there's a place called Mojo's. They have the Mojan burger, like Mojo and Bajan mushed together. They have like a pretty awesome burger that they make in-house as well. And that's pretty amazing. That would definitely have to be my favorite burger in Barbados.
I would go right now, but
you like in Brooklyn.
I mean, I haven't found any good burgers in Brooklyn. I mean, in my part of Brooklyn, I'm in a place called Sheepshead Bay, and I'm still looking for my favorite burger spot. It's not going too well. So, hey, if you got any recommendations, man, feel free to pass them on. I'll take a drive. He'll take a drive for a girl. I'll take a drive for a burger.
I mean, you're really close to the Gargiulo burger. Only a short drive. You're close to
Okay. There we go. So I guess I got to check that out, man. At least I have a short drive. Your drive might be a bit longer, man. But
yeah. A little further up in Brooklyn.
Yeah. George, Marie Fitzpatrick wants to know, any tips for working with ultra lean beef or yak meat?
Yeah, don't. That's a good start there.
First tip, no yak meat. Yeah.
No yak meat. No lean meat. You really shouldn't make a hamburger out of lean meat. I don't know what the hell lean meat is really good for, because when you eat fatty beef, when the fat renders in beef, that's really where the flavor is. I mean, honestly, let's just be honest. Rendered beef fat is really where the flavor is in beef, period. So if you're using lean meat, you're not getting the right flavor. You're adding flavor to it, which is something you don't want to do. It's disingenuous.
Okay. You heard it right here. George said, you're going lean meat, you're making a mistake. Let's move on to another rum here. The next up, I think, is we've got the Mount Gay 1703, the Black Barrel. Is that right, Dario?
Yeah, Black Barrel. And we refer to the Black Barrel as the double cask blend simply because we're using two types of barrels to create it. So it's very easy to understand the progression. When it comes to the Eclipse, we're using one barrel. When it comes to Black Barrel, we're using two. When it comes to XO, we're using 3 barrels. But with Black Barrel, what we do a finishing process. So we basically take our rums and we let them sit in American whiskey barrels. When they're done sitting, we take them out, we blend them together, and we put them in a heavily charred bourbon barrel. So what you find coming out from that is something that's very oaky, smoky, and spicy, all at the very same time. Now, these are rums 3 to 7 years. Now, why do I say 3 to 7 years? Because it's a blend of rums. All of Mount Gay rums are blends. So you will hardly ever find majority of our rums coming from one particular age range. So even though I said 2 years for the Eclipse, it's not a case it's all coming from one particular barrel. It's always a blend to make sure we're getting the right flavor. So here, our new master blender, Trudy Ann Brank, our first female master blender for the brand, she did some tweaking on it, and she took it from 2 to 7 years to 3 to 7 years. She used a bit more pot still rum and basically refined all of the flavors that were already existent in the Mount Gay Black Barrel. So what you're gonna find now is that you get a lot more oak and you get a lot more smoke coming through. You're not getting the alcohol pushing through as much when compared to the Eclipse rum. When you do have a taste of it, I like to describe it as like an arousal of the taste buds in a sense, yeah? Really nice, very nice medium-bodied rum. You get like a tingling sensation in your mouth that kind of like intrigues you to the flavor. Lingers on your palate, really nice, and you do get the spice coming through a lot more. And I think that this is a rum that will be fantastic in a cocktail that I'm gonna make right now. I mean, you guys are really drinking. I'm done with cocktail number 1. I'm ready to go on to my cocktail number 2.
So I'm doing the liquid dinner. We're doing burgers.
That's right.
I'm getting like a little brown sugar in here.
Yeah, you do get some hints of the sweetness pushing through, but the spice is definitely there. The cloves, the fresh fruit, a bit of the wood definitely comes to the fore with that one. And I think it's something that is the best of both worlds. So you could possibly enjoy this on its own, or you could have it in a cocktail as well, and that's a great way to go. So I'm going to be having it in a rum old fashioned right now. So I think that's actually a fantastic way to discover the flavors of Mount Gay Black Barrel. So I just added 2 ounces of Mount Gay Black Barrel to my mixing glass, adding a couple dashes of Angostura bitters. I'm going to add a couple dashes of orange bitters as well. Just give
Hold on. Wait. You can't throw in the Gary Regan bitters without raising a toast to our old.
There we go.
Gaz Regan, baby. The late Gary Regan, everybody. Okay.
There we go. All right. And what you could do, guys, if you're looking for a nice alternative, you could probably use some creme de cacao, some dark creme de cacao, just a little bit of it as your sweetener. But I don't have that right now. I'm just going to use like a bar spoon of some simple syrup. And going to be adding some ice.
By the way, people have asked me before, so simple syrup is simply warm water. That's all.
That's really, I mean, listen.
You have water, you stir it up, make some warm water and mix it up. That's your simple syrup. Everybody knows that. We have that.
Yeah, and I think people are always amazed when you explain exactly how to make simple syrup. They're like, is that it? I think they call it simple syrup for a reason. I think that name was definitely really fitting for the drink. But it's lots of flavors, really nice. As I said, it's a dry style rum, so just sitting and sipping it, having it over ice would be really fantastic.
George, what are you getting in that? What are you getting flavor-wise in this?
I get the smoke for sure. I taste the smoke, but I'm also standing in the smoke. So I've got this multi-sensory experience happening here. smoke in my mouth, smoke in my nose. It's everywhere. So I definitely taste the smoke. I mean, so you're saying these are finished in whiskey barrels.
Correct. So we use two different types of barrels. We're using American whiskey barrels and heavily charred bourbon barrels for the process of the black barrel specifically. When we're talking about the XO, we're using three different types of barrels. We're using the American whiskey, a bourbon barrel, in addition to a cognac barrel to make our rums. So with black barrels specifically, it's always a finishing process. So to get into the ins and outs of it a bit more, with Mount Gay, we're always using two different types of distillation. We're doing pot still distillation, referred to as double distillation, meaning it goes through the entire process twice, and we do column still distillation, obviously meaning it goes through the process once. So the blending of the column and pot still rums only occurs after they have been sitting inside of the barrels. So when you hear me say that we let the rum sit in a toasted whiskey barrel first and then take them out and put them in a heavily charred bourbon barrel, we're taking the column still rums and the pot still rums out, blending them together, and then putting them in the heavily charred bourbon barrel to be finished for that period. That really brings out the flavors even more fantastically to give you a really nice tasting drink.
Yeah. And all the barrel they're in the island. I mean, they're in the Caribbean, obviously.
That's right. And in fact, you mentioned that it's because it is hot, you're going to find that the maturation is going to take place a lot faster. So a 5-year-old barrel of rum can be compared to a 15-year-old barrel of whiskey. So there is a downside to that as well, because there is higher maturation taking place. Faster maturation is also going to be higher angel share as well. So while for a whiskey, like 3 to 4% a year for us, you can find it sometimes up to 10% we can lose from a barrel a year. So a couple of differences there.
And when Dario talks about the char on the barrels, there's generally 4 levels of char for bourbon barrels, and it ranges from when they make a new barrel, which is all bourbon barrels are new white oak. Then they put it into this. They basically shoot flames up into the barrel. Okay, the lowest level is probably going to be 15 seconds of fire, but with the highest level of char, up to a minute or more, where you're going to get almost probably 1/8 of an inch of char on the inside of that barrel. And what that's doing is that's bringing all the stuff out of that wood, bringing it to the surface. That's then all going into the spirit. So this is a number 4 char on those barrels?
Definitely, which people will refer to as an alligator char. And it's funny that you should bring that up. So when you hear people talking about, I learned a lot of science from working at Mount Gay. People talk about, benzaldehyde is one of the compounds you're going to find in the wood. And the benzaldehyde is what is responsible for giving you that almond flavor you're going to get coming through in the liquid. Same with vanillin, obviously, which is responsible for vanilla. So obviously, the deeper the char would also determine which flavors are going to be pulled from the barrel, and then in essence, it's going to be interacting with the liquid. In this instance, the rum.
And when you're drinking this, George, are you able to sort of think about the flavor profile of the rum and how that might interact with a burger? Like if you're going to make a burger with this, that pair with this rum, what would you be looking more savory there, or maybe some more sweetness? Or
well, it's honestly, I think I just not even knowing or not even trying this. I'm trying for the first time. I would say it pairs really well so far with the smoke. I mean, I'm going to taste this smoked burger, and you're nodding your head, because it's a very smoky drink. It really is a good barbecue drink. I mean, I like drinking. I love rye. I'm a big rye fan because it does have like a certain the sort of rye is actually an American spirit. It was invented in America, but it predates bourbon. But this is actually perfect in a way because you can tell that it's going to mix well. It's going to go well in a drink, when you're smoking something or cooking outside. It's going to go perfectly. I know. I can tell you right now. Also, when I cook on a flame grill like this, to me, it's there's this all the carbonic compounds are lifting up because you're burning basically fat and it's going into the air, or it's being captured by the top of the Weber and staying inside. But the charcoal flavor definitely is. I mean, it's very specific to outdoor barbecuing and grilling, and without a doubt, I mean, you can taste the burn in this. I mean, the burn meaning the smoke, but it's actually really smooth. It's way smoother than any whiskey I've ever had, right? For sure, right? Very drinkable.
Yeah, very drinkable. And I think that's the thing about it. When people sometimes think about rum, they always assume that a rum is going to be harsh. You always have to mix it with something in order to drink it. But I think you have a brand here that shows you like, hey, there is some artisanship still left in rum. There's some craftsmanship left in it, and there's some pretty good rums out there that show that that wholesome waiting and could be enjoyed on their own. So in Black Barrel, you definitely start to see that pushing through as it relates to a quality rum.
Sure. I can taste it.
Kristen Shambasian wrote in and said, the rum old fashioned just blew my mind. I'm going to bring that one back to the Wisconsin fam.
Cheers to the Wisconsin fam. Cheers to you.
By the way, any single ladies out there in Wisconsin, I've got rum. I'm willing to travel.
Wisconsin,
right in the car right now.
Wisconsin,
How long is Wisconsin from Venice Beach? Can't be that far, can it?
Oh man, that's funny.
2 days of driving, it'll be fun.
A couple. I mean, yeah. It depends. I can do the burn right through it. George, Joseph Perkins wants to know, what is the most out of the ordinary burger topping you've ever eaten?
Ooh, it's a good question. I've eaten a lot. I mean, you can imagine I've eaten a lot of crazy burgers out there. I've eaten a lot. Good question. I mean, I would say probably in terms of not that crazy, but it sounds disgusting. It's a burger out there called the Nut Burger. Now the Nut Burger.
Hey, this is a PG-13 rated thing. So where are you going?
Yeah, I know. It's just, everyone chuckles. Everyone loves the name of the burger. It's actually called the Nut Burger. What they do is
make it in the San Fernando Valley. Yeah. No, sorry. So
2 ingredients. It's actually called nut sauce. Sorry. The nut sauce actually has 2 ingredients.
Oh my God.
Ready for this one? It's Miracle Whip and crushed peanuts. That's it. Crushed
what?
Miracle Whip mixed together and put on top of the burger. And it sounds disgusting, and it is so freaking good. I couldn't believe it. It's so good.
Wow. Let me say, I'm still stuck on the secret. So, rum poured over ice cream as a topping is great.
Not great. That's freaking amazing. That's definitely amazing. And one rum you could definitely pour over ice cream to really. So in Barbados, we got a rum and raisin ice cream. So I would definitely say Mount Gay XO is the way to go if you wanted to pour some rum over your ice cream. That would be magical for sure.
Are we talking about this one right here? We talking about the Triple Cask?
That's right. The Mount Gay XO.
Why don't we dive right into this right now?
I mean, sure. Let's go for it, man. Now, these are rums matured for 5 to 17 years. So basically, as I said before, blend of rums. You have some rum from a 5-year barrel, from a 6, 7, all the way up to 17. And what you get now, 5 to 17 years. It's all about blending, man. It's all about blending because remember, we're focusing on maturation of the spirit. So it's not a case that a barrel is going to be sitting for 5 years and we automatically assume that it tastes like a 5-year-old rum. We always have to keep checking up on them. Tribian goes into the warehouse and she's making sure that they're maturing. So we got this saying, it's ready when it's ready, and it gives you the perfect essence of island vibes. We pretty much go with the flow, and you can't rush rum. You gotta take your time with it. You gotta wait.
And so I tell everybody out there, when we're doing this, when we're nosing any spirit, you don't want to ram your nose in it. See what George is doing right there? Don't do that. No, you don't want to ram your nose into the spirit because it's going to burn out. It's going to burn it out, right? So what you want to do is kind of keep it here, keep your mouth open as well, and sort of breathe the whole thing. And it's not just you're not snorting it, right? You're just breathing it in, nose and mouth. So that's
You're right. And as what you guys can see from the Eclipse all the way to the XO, we see a progression as it relates to the aromatics. It's completely changing each and every single time. So now you're getting a lot more of the barrel starting to push through. So because we are using a cognac barrel as well, there are going to be slight essence of fruit, dried fruit on the front.
Orange zest. I'm getting that orange zest.
Exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly what I get. I always get the zestiness of the orange really starting to push through. And when you do get it on your palate, I think that's absolutely beautiful because here it is, you are using a whiskey barrel, using a cognac barrel, but you're never losing the essence of what it is. It's a rum. It's never a case that it's being overpowered by the fact that we are using a cognac barrel to blend or a whiskey barrel to blend or a bourbon barrel. You still get the essence of rum.
This is very creamy. This is the creamiest of the 3 that we've had. I'm also getting some a little bit of mango on this. It's a very tropical fruit here.
Definitely.
And you said cloves earlier?
Yes.
But I'm getting it way more in this rum, the cloves, than I had in the previous rums. What about you, George?
But the nice thing about it, even though it's definitely it's complex, but it's also very smooth and buttery, which is fantastic. But it does have a nice long finish.
Definitely. It lingers. It really lingers on your palate, like maybe like 5, 10 minutes on, you're still getting flavors rolling off.
And some pepper on that
That's
finish
right.
too.
The
It's got
back end of it, you do get some peppery notes as it finishes.
Yeah.
So as you said, it's very complex, you know, and it's not a case that it's complex. You gotta sit and you gotta experience it. So now you're not just drinking for drinking's sake. You're not drinking for the experience. You're drinking for the enjoyment. You're saying, oh, I got this the second time I had a taste. Oh, I got that the third time I had a taste. You gotta take your time with it, man. Just go with the flow, man. Just keep it cool. Take it easy, like how you were saying Barbados. Take it easy, man.
Take a what? Say it again.
So I'm basically saying take it easy, but I'm saying it in dialect. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. That's what it is, man. Just take it easy, man.
Cheers.
When do you think we'll ever be able to go to Barbados again?
That's a great question.
I mean, Americans. We can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere. Well, Americans can't go anywhere.
Yeah, anybody can go anywhere, but man,
You know what would be nice with this? You can have this with a coconut water ice cube.
Oh, a coconut water ice cube.
Coconut water ice cube, 2 ounces of alcohol poured over a coconut water ice cube. You are in heaven.
Oh,
That's
me,
great.
not heaven, but you get pretty close. You're probably a couple exits out from heaven, but it's really, really nice because of the coconut water. It really as the XO starts to melt with it, it starts to intermingle with it, and just gives you something that's very light and refreshing, but still allows you to explore the complexity of the XO. Really nice.
amazing. Laura Gray just wrote in and said, saute some plantains in a splash of rum, then use the plantains as a garnish for your drink.
Ooh.
I honestly thought she was going to say use the plantains on your burger. I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming. But
that actually sounds really delicious.
I need to try that.
Laura, can you write back with the exact recipe on how to do this? We'll give it out here. Give us some direction, Laura. Some direction.
I'm saying, man, I'm tempted. I got plantains. I got rum. Oh man.
Hold on, look at those burgers. Whoa.
Oh wow.
What do we got going on here, George?
Smoked burgers. We are about 5 minutes away from being able to make smoked burgers on a bun. I'm building on a bun stand, so.
So we're about 5 to 10 minutes away from the contest ending again, folks. Right in. I gave you 5 burger scenes earlier. Put them in order, 1 through 3. The top 3, you win the Flaviar membership. You got about 5-10 more minutes tops to get those answers in. We got another rum, don't we, Dario?
That's right. You got the creme de la creme, you could say. That is the 1703 Master Select, which is done in limited amounts every single year. So it's, as it basically says, it's up to the master blender that basically tells you like what this rum will be like. So if you were to have the 2017 edition versus the 2018 versus the 2019, you will definitely find slight differences between each and every single one of them. Now, these are rums matured for 10 to 30 years.
Wow.
30. 10 to 30 years. 10 to 30 years in the barrels. Man, Dan, you didn't even open it as yet, man. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I've been doing this a long time. I've been writing about spirits for a long time. I've been covering it for a long time. Anytime that I get my hands on a really exceptional bottle, I struggle with opening it. And I know many people think I'm crazy and they say, oh, I can't wait to get in there. I just almost want to just keep it pure, put it on my shelf and go, there it is. I've never touched it. I'm just going to leave it there. And then someday when something really, really special happens, I'm going to open it. But you know what? This is pretty special. So I
think this is a very special moment.
I love the note here, by the way, the note that comes in the box. That's amazing.
George, that note says, hey, hurry up with that goddamn burger. That's what I put that in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're going to find out, what you're going to find out with the 1703, again, we see another transformation of the aromas of the liquid from the XO jumping into the 1703, much softer. There's a lot more romance going on in the 1703. So, oh man, I just get the smell of luxury. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. Like you just get a nose of it and you know that you're into something good. So you get the dates, you get the dried fruit, you get leather. It's just crazy. And you do get a bit of the barrel, a bit of the still as well, a bit of the pot still, because we're going to be using a lot more pot still rums, and the pot still rums tend to be a lot more robust and heavy bodied, and you really find that pushing through with the 1703. But this is fantastic for gifting. Also, this is nothing to mix. You know, you're going to be doing this on its own. That's a way to enjoy the 1703. I would not recommend mixing it, but it's something that you can just sit and constantly get a nose of and just enjoy it that way. What are you guys getting? Tell me, talk to me, man.
I'm going to tell you the first thing that jumped out at me just on the nose, right? And it's a dessert I've not had for many, many years, but it instantly evoked thoughts of that dessert, was Bananas Foster. You know that?
That's right. Banana Fosters. There's something made in England called banoffee, which is like a dessert, an English dessert made with bananas and toffee. Like you put a layer of bananas, a layer of toffee, layer of bananas, layer of toffee, you bake it. That's what you kind of get. So it's kind of very similar to Banana Foster. So you're along the same wavelength. I saw, George, you had a taste. What are you thinking?
It's incredible. That's incredible. It's obviously complex, but it's not so smooth that you appreciate more, because it's actually a much. It's hard to. I'm having a hard time describing this. Sorry.
That's right. So like with the XO, you got like a creamy type of smooth, but I would describe the 1703 as more of like a silky type of smooth. So it's a lot lighter on your palate, but still very intriguing.
Going and going and going.
That's right.
Whoa! But it is.
And I mean, look at that. So you can see the difference there in the color.
Yeah, for sure.
Right here. Look how dark that is. So there's so much. That's so much. Just again, so everybody knows this. You know, all spirits that come off a still are clear. Okay.
That's right.
Spirits don't come off with color on them. They come off still clear. Now there are certain spirits you can add, but for the most part, where all this color is coming from is the wood. It's extracting not only flavor but color from the wood. So when you get a spirit like this that's very dark, the first indication is this is something that's spent a great deal of time in barrel. So yeah.
Definitely. And as I said, 10 to 30 years.
Wow, that is absolutely delicious. There's a savory flavor to this as well, and I just kind of feel like maybe it's going to go good with the rest of this.
I was about to say, man, I was going to say, George, I think that the 1703 would go fantastic with those burgers that you currently have on the grill, man.
Right, here we go. I'm ready to pull it off. You ready?
I think I'm ready.
There's exciting stuff here. Have you watched any of George's videos? You have to watch them. They'll make you instantly, your mouth starts to water.
Oh, man, I think I need to go and check them out. I think I need to start like a podcast, Burgers and Rum or something like that.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the bacon on that burger, the bacon and the onion and it all is just going so well with this.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry all over again. I ate already, but I'm feeling to eat some more, man, and a burger specifically.
Well, and I know you said you haven't found a place near you, so Benny Blue's the place I'm talking about. I can walk there, so it's very close to me. So I'm lucky, and I think I could probably trade them out some rum for.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look at that thing, George. Let me see that.
So it's a burger patty, nothing more than 75-25 chuck, formed into a patty, fresh, and it's a little bit of salt on top and smoke, and that's it. Smoke for 50 minutes, and that's it. I flipped it once. I flipped it at 25 minutes. I flipped it, but that's it. I mean, it's nothing but all of that liquid you see on top is actually liquefied salt and rendered beef fat. So I'm going to add to this some barbecue sauce and some pickles and the top of the bun. Give me a second.
That's a really nice looking burger, and he's not even finished with the presentation just yet.
Oh, by the way, folks, I just got some word here that Mount Gay is going to give away a bottle of 1703, okay? In addition to the Flaviar membership, we're also going to give away a bottle of Mount Gay, where is that? We're going to give away this? Are we giving away this? Am I right on this? Is this what we're giving away, Keith? Let me know. Or the Master Select? Because if we are, that's something right there.
I can echo those sentiments. If that is in fact what we're giving away, that is definitely something, and definitely one that you would want to.
I'm going to do this then. If that's what we are giving away.
Oh my God,
I feel like, George, look at that thing.
George.
Take a bite.
Smoke.
George, I'm curious. I'm curious, George. I'm curious.
Me too. Let's do this.
Oh man.
Oh. Oh shit! I ate the paper.
Is that good?
Mm. Has a smoke ring. You see that? It actually has a smoke ring. You see that?
Wow.
Just like barbecue. It's incredible. And it looks like it's cooked through, but it's actually very moist still. It's very, very loose packed and moist. Also, it has a piece of raw onion on there, which really changes everything. Mm. Oh.
George, I feel like we should cannonball. We should cannonball burger rum. Here we go. Cannonball.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. There we go. Cannonball. Cannonball. Oh man.
Sorry. I wasn't ready. Sorry.
Loving it too.
My assistant is helping me get a shot of whiskey. I mean, a shot of rum. Hang on a second.
I have a rogue fly in here.
Cannonball. Cannonball.
He went without you. He did it already.
So yeah, we are giving away this extra bottle. We're giving away this bottle of Mount Gay. Should we make it a little more difficult then for the Mount Gay? Here's what I'm thinking. I gave you 5. I gave you 5 options, and I said put in your top 3. I'm gonna throw this wrinkle in right here. That's to win the Flaviar membership. You want to win the bottle of Mount Gay. You got to do this very quickly. You got like 2 minutes to do this. I want you to rank all 5 scenes, all 5 in order. You get it right, you win the Mount Gay rum. Here's your choices. And in no particular order right now. Royale with cheese scene from Pulp Fiction, burger scene. Lloyd and Harry inadvertently killing a mobster, loading his burger with chili peppers in Dumb and Dumber. The hamburger coming to life and singing Van Halen to John Cusack in Better Off Dead. The Big Kahuna burger scene from That Is a Tasty Burger in Pulp Fiction. And finally, Harold and Kumar make it to White Castle, and they order 30 sliders each. Those 5 scenes, very quickly, I want you to rank them 1 to 5. If you get that right, you're in the running to win the Mount Gay 1703. That is a hell of a prize to go along with the other hell of a prize, which is the Flaviar membership. But you got like 2 minutes to do that. So if you've already done it, send in another entry. Rank all 5 of them. Here we go. Go. Meanwhile, I feel bad, Dario, that you don't have a burger. I really do.
I feel bad as well. I mean, I got loads of rum, but no burgers. Oh,
we gotta have George send you a list of places, man. We gotta get you up there.
Definitely. Oh man.
We were like geographically close. I mean, I could almost, bring you this burger, but it would take about 20 minutes.
But that looks amazing, man. That burger looks really amazing.
You should try it at home. If you have a Weber, all you do is set it up for indirect heat and for smoking, and you're done. That's it. It's so easy. I mean, I used a few coals, a handful of wood chips, 50 minutes, salt, burger beef. That's it, really. It's so easy to do.
George, is there a place where people can go to find recipes for you, or they just watch the videos? Is there like a place where they just have it written down?
Yeah, I mean, my video, actually, we did this on the Burger Scholar sessions last season. So it's on there. The smoked burger is actually in the last season of the Burger Scholar sessions. And today,
Dario,
we started for next season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Recipes for rum. Feel free to head over to the Mount Gay Rum website, mountgayrum.com. You can find recipes for every single one of the rums that we talked about today, and you can also find a bit more of the explanation as well as it relates to the flavor profiles. It's a very in-depth website, and it definitely gives you the information that you need. We pretty much just graze the surface. You could probably talk about rum for like a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, really deep diving into the entire process. But I really love the complementation of the rum and the burgers that we really had going on. We had going on here this evening. And you need to write down that name for me, George. You mentioned a place that's relatively close to me that I need to check out for a good burger. I will need to check it out for sure. And I probably have a nice swig of rum with me to probably smuggle into the place as well to do okay. Yeah? Who knows? All
right, so I have no idea if we're getting even entries this way. I'm going to say to Keith, the director, if you're there, have we gotten any entries in for the 5? And if we have, put them in there now because we're going to give them away. The 5, ranking all 5 scenes to win the bottle of rum. Guys, let's give away the Flaviar membership right now. Boy, I don't know how we're going to do this because we've got 3 people that got it right, okay? 3 people got it right. And we're just going to, you know what? Let me have some rum. because when I do the rum, I get mean. So I'll just randomly go, not picking you. No, I'm kidding. Here we go. All right. 3 people right now are in the running for the Flaviar membership, and we're going to pick one of them. And then there are more entries coming in, 5 for the rum. Here we go. So this was the winners. Let me ask you, Dario, of the scenes that I said, are you familiar with most of these scenes?
No, I am not.
Okay, then never mind. George, of the scenes, you and I already went over this, but maybe you've forgotten already. So of the scenes I said, what was the, you know what, screw that. I'll just do it. Of the 5 that I gave you, the number 3 scene was Lloyd and Harry in Dumb and Dumber. That was number 3. Number 2, best burger scene ever.
Harold
and Kumar.
Harold and Kumar.
There we go.
They get to White Castle and they order the
Kicks
burgers.
the slut.
And the number 1 best burger moment scene ever in movie history was what, George?
That is a tasty burger.
The Big Kahuna Burger in Pulp Fiction. What? Not only best burger scene, one of the greatest movie scenes of all time. So,
one of the greatest movies of all time, actually. I have
so
to.
3 people got that. Big Kahuna, Harold Kumar, Dumb and Dumber. 3 people got it. All right, guys, I'm going to throw this out, and we have no other way to do this other than to just randomly select. One person's name is Hydrock777. The other person's name is Dave Brown. The other person's name is Jarrett Tinnell. Jarrett Tinnell. What do you think?
Up to you.
We're real dicks, aren't we? We're just gonna randomly pick a name out. Yeah.
I'll go with I'll call a name. Everyone call a name. It's 3 of us. Let's see if someone calls. If you call 2 of the same name.
Pick a name. So it's either Hydrock, Dave, or Jarrett. Pick one in your head, and then we'll all say it out loud. And whoever gets the most of these wins. All right, ready? All right, I got mine. Dario, what name?
Dave Brown.
3. We say it out loud. 1,
Oh, sorry.
2, 3.
Dave Brown. There we go.
Jarrett 2.
There we go.
Jarrett gets 2 votes. Jarrett Tinnell, congratulations. You have won a Flaviar membership. Nice job. Nice job. We got about another minute or so. We're going to, yep, he got them in the right order. He won the Flaviar membership. And now I need, Keith, send me the entries for the bottle of rum. We're going to give that away. And then we're going to get the hell out of here. Dario,
First of all, Dan, I mean, I commend you because your burger lasted you an entire hour.
Yeah, we just ate 2 over here. Sorry, we already got.
I'm saying, like, I saw George did his, you know, in good time. You held the burger for an entire hour.
I'm a professional. Don't compare me to Dan with hamburgers. Not.
All right. So now, for the bottle, we got some coming in. Before we get to that, I'm going to sip a little more rum. Dario, anything you want to add about Mount Gay in general?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, listen, it's a brand that's been around for over 300 years. And anytime you have a conversation about rum, you can't not mention Mount Gay. And there's a little bit of something for everyone. There's some people who enjoy sipping rums. There's some people who prefer to mix rums. There's someone who prefers to have a rum that can go good mixing and sipping as well. It's a portfolio that definitely is very vast, very versatile, and it has a little bit of something for everyone. So, you know, if you want to keep it simple with a nice rum and coke, rum and ginger, rum and coconut water, you can do that. If you want to get a bit more sophisticated with an old fashioned, a Manhattan, a Shazarat, maybe you can go there. Or if you're looking to get something to sip with your father-in-law and sit on, smoke some cigars in front of a nice fireplace during winter times, reminiscing about 2020 and how it was such a fantastic year, you can do that as well, man. You know, so as I said, there's a little bit of something in the portfolio for everyone who consider themselves to be a spirits drinker on the whole. I'm not going to say rum drinker. I'm going to say spirits drinker. So if you appreciate fine liquids, fine spirits, you definitely need to have a bottle of Mount Gay Rum in your bar at home. That's me. That's it. That's my mic drop.
George, you agree?
I agree. I absolutely agree. You've opened my eyes. I've always known the brand is fantastic, but you've taken it many steps forward. Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the burger knowledge.
So, well, here's the top 5. I'm going to give you an order. Number 1, Big Kahuna Burger. 2, Harold and Kumar. 3, Dumb and Dumber 4, Royale with cheese. And the number 5 best scene is the burger coming to life and rocking out to Van Halen and Better Off Dead. Let's see who got that right. Oh, and you would have won anyway with this name. I mean, come on. You know who the winner is?
Who?
I'm going to give you a hint. William Shatner had a show where he played a cop.
Cop.
No? Falling flat?
No.
T.J. Hooker. Remember T.J. Hooker? Well, apparently T.J. Hooker's son, Claude Hooker, had him in order. Claude Hooker had him in order.
Nice. Congratulations, Claude Hooker.
Claude Hooker, you win yourself a bottle of Mount Gay Rum. Congratulations. And
Cheers to you.
good job on that name, too.
Cheers. Nice work. Good job on your name.
Speaking of hookers, I will... No, never mind. I'll stop right now. I will stop right now. No, I'm totally joking. But if anybody in Iowa wants me to come see them, I will. Or Wisconsin. I'll go anywhere east or west of the Mississippi. How about that? I'll do it. But guys, this has been a tremendous amount of fun. It always is. I always love having George Motz on the show. And please go check him out on the YouTube channel. What is it, George? It's the burger. What is it?
It was a Burger Scholar Session.
Burger
Believe it or not,
Scholars.
just started filming season 2 today. So season 2 airs September 21st. So get ready for that one.
And where can they find you on the social medias, George?
I mean, GeorgeMotz.com or Motzburger on Instagram. That's
And
the
Motz
best.
is M-O-T-Z, which sounds like Motz.
That's right. But it's not. It's Motz.
God help the man that calls him Motz to his face. Yeah, all right, that's all I'm saying. Dario Prescott, Mount Gay Rum. It's been a real pleasure, man, picking your brain. It's full of rum knowledge.
No, listen, man. I had a great time with you guys, man. This has been great. This is a great way to spend a Thursday night, man. Talking rum, talking burgers. It's been good fun. And big shout outs to the hooker as well.
That's it. To the hooker out there. I want to thank again George, Dario. I want to thank Baby Blues for barbecue for bringing me a burger. I want to be part of the burger scene. Next week on the show, we have comedian Dan Cummins. And of course, everybody out there, thank you. I know you've got lots of options to spend your time on the internet. And you chose to spend it with us, which is fantastic. I'm Dan Dunn. Thank you very much. See you next week.